Hi guys, it's Mia Penfold here at ASA All Strings Attached. I'm going to read another article today on Venezuela crisis. EU states recognise Guaido as president. It doesn't state here who's written it, but it is on BBC News. So, the UK, France, Germany, Spain, and other European countries have officially recognised opposition leader Juan Guaido as interim president of Venezuela. It comes after President Nicolas Maduro defiantly rejected the EU's Sunday deadline to call snap elections. Mr. Guaido declared himself interim leader last month and won US backing. Russia, a backer of Mr. Maduro's, accused EU countries of meddling in Venezuela's affairs. As pressure mounted on Mr. Maduro to step down, he said he could not rule out the possibility of civil war. In a TV interview, he warned that the US President Donald Trump would leave the White House stained with blood. He intervened military in the crisis, which arose after Maduro's disputed re-election last year. Mr. Guaido said on Sunday that he would build an international coalition to deliver humanitarian aid to Venezuelans. As head of Venezuela's National Assembly, Mr. Guaido says that the constitution allows him to assume power temporarily when the president is deemed illegitimate. What have EU countries said? Sunday we saw the expiry of an ultimatum set by the European countries including France, UK, Germany and Spain for Mr. Maduro to call early presidential elections. They said that they would recognise Mr. Guaido as interim president, of no such pledge was forthcoming. On Monday, those countries and several other European nations officially recognised Mr. Guaido as interim president. UK, alongside European allies, now recognises constitutional president until credible elections can be held, Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt said in a statement on Twitter. UK Prime Minister Theresa May, official spokesperson, said that further steps were being considered, including the use of sanctions, without outlining what form of any possible sanctions might take. German Chancellor Angela Merkel told a news conference in Tokyo that the EU countries expected Mr. Guaido to initiate a swift election process. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said Venezuela should be the author of its own destiny. The international community has a duty to help and ensure that this happens with necessary guarantees, he told reporters. Other EU countries, such as Greece, have publicly backed Mr. Maduro. The Greek government reluctantly signed an EU statement in January calling for fresh elections. The country's left-wing ruling Syriza party then issued its own statement expressing the support for legitimate President of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. An Italian government, anti-establishment, five-star movement and right-wing league is divided on the issue. Russia has slammed Monday's statements accusing EU countries of interfering in Venezuela's affairs and attempting to legitimize usurped power. What did Maduro say? Mr. Maduro responded to the EU's deadline saying, "We don't accept ultimatums from anyone. It's like if I told the European Union, I give you 7 days to realise that the Republic of Catalonia, and if you don't, we're going to take measures." No international politics can be based on ultimatums. That was the era of the empires and the colonies. In an interview with Spanish television program Salvados broadcast on Sunday, Mr. Maduro was asked if the crisis of Venezuela could result in civil war. Today, no one could answer that question with certainty, he said. Everything depends on the level of madness and aggressiveness of the Northern Empire, the US, and the Western allies. We ask that nobody intervenes in our internal affairs and we prepare ourselves to defend our country. President Trump has told US broadcaster CBS the use of military force remains an option. But Mr. Maduro warned the US leader he risks a repeat of the Vietnam War in which the US was involved from 1965 to 1973 if he intervened. Hundreds of thousands of US soldiers were sent to help fight the communist forces in a costly and unsuccessful war which brought the domestic civil unrest and international embarrassment. Stop, Donald Trump. You are making mistakes that are going to stain your hands with blood and you are going to leave presidency with stained blood, he said. Let's respect each other, or is that you are going to repeat a Vietnam in Latin America? What is the situation in Venezuela? Mr. Maduro, who took office in 2013 after the death of Hugo Chavez, has been condemned after alleged human rights abuses for and for handling of the economy. There are severe shortages of the basic items such as medicine and food, and there's estimated 3 billion people have fled the country. The annual inflation has reached 1,300,000, in the 12 months to November 2018, according to a study to National Assembly. By the end of 2018, prices were doubling every 19 days on average. The price of a cup of coffee tea in the capital of Caracas doubled to 400 bolivars, which is 62 cents, American cents, 50p, in the space of just a week last December, according to Bloomberg. Many people have been voting with their feet and leaving Venezuela. According to United Nations figures, 3 million Venezuelans have left the country since 2014 when the economic crisis started to bite.